Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your mind as a vast, quiet ocean at twilight. Beneath its calm surface, entire worlds are stirring, preparing to bloom into the most extraordinary theater you'll ever witness. Every night, without fail, you become both the director and the audience of the most personal, mysterious show in the universe, your dreams. Before we begin this gentle journey into the secret world of sleep and dreams, if you enjoy relaxing science, stories like this one, feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, and comment below. Let me know what country you're watching from and what time you're listening to this tonight. Your presence here, sharing this quiet moment, makes this nocturnal exploration all the more meaningful. Tonight, we'll drift together through the soft mysteries of what happens when your conscious mind releases its grip, and something far more ancient and wise takes the stage. Picture yourself sinking into the most comfortable bed imaginable, surrounded by the gentle sounds of night, perhaps distant rain against windows or the whisper of wind through trees. Feel your breathing slow, your muscles soften, as we prepare to explore the most intimate journey your mind takes. Every single night. What if I told you that the moment you close your eyes to sleep, your brain doesn't rest at all, but instead begins the most fascinating dance of electricity and chemistry? What if every dream is like a secret letter your mind writes to itself, full of symbols and stories that connect you to every human who has ever lived and dreamed before you? Let your eyelids grow heavy now, as we begin this tranquil voyage into the land where logic becomes poetry, where time bends like candlelight, and where your sleeping mind becomes the most creative artist you've ever known. Asterisk, imagine, if you will, that your brain is like an ancient library at closing time. The daytime visitors, your conscious thoughts, your worries, your endless to-do lists, have all departed into the evening air. The lights dim one by one, and a profound quiet settles over the halls of your mind. But this is not the silence of emptiness. This is the sacred hush that comes before the most important work begins. In this twilight hour of consciousness, something remarkable starts to unfold. Your brain, this 3-pound universe nestled within your skull, begins to transform itself. Like a master storyteller preparing for the evening's tale, it starts to weave together the threads of your day, your memories, your deepest fears and most cherished hopes into narratives that will play out in the theater of your dreams. What happens in those precious hours when you surrender to sleep is perhaps one of the most beautiful mysteries of human existence. Your mind becomes a gentle alchemist, taking the raw materials of your waking life and spinning them into gold, into dreams that can heal, inspire, problem solve, and sometimes simply entertain your sleeping self with the most extraordinary adventures. Picture your neurons, those tiny messengers in your brain, as they begin their nightly dance. During the day, they march in orderly patterns, focused on the tasks at hand. But as sleep approaches, their rhythm changes. They begin to waltz instead of march, creating waves of electrical activity that ripple through your brain like aurora borealis dancing across a dark sky. These brainwaves, measured by scientists in cycles per second, tell the story of your journey from wakefulness into the depths of sleep. As you lie here now, perhaps feeling your own eyelids growing heavier, your brain is already beginning this transformation. The alpha waves of relaxed wakefulness are starting to give way to the theta waves of drowsiness. It's like watching the sun set over a calm lake. The transition is gradual, gentle, almost imperceptible, yet utterly profound. But what triggers this nightly metamorphosis? Why does your body know, with such exquisite timing, when to release you into sleep's embrace? The answer lies in tiny structures within your brain, ancient timekeepers that have been guiding the sleep of living creatures for millions of years. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus, let's call it your body's master clock, sits behind your eyes, no bigger than a grain of rice, Yet it conducts the entire symphony of your circadian rhythms. This remarkable little timekeeper responds to the fading light of evening, triggering the release of melatonin from your pineal gland. Melatonin, that gentle chemical messenger, flows through your bloodstream like a lullaby made liquid, whispering to every cell in your body that it's time to prepare for rest. Your core body temperature begins to drop, your heart rate slows, and your breathing deepens, all orchestrated by this ancient biological wisdom that knows exactly when you need to dream God as you sink deeper into relaxation. Consider this wonder. Every human being who has ever lived has experienced this same magical transition from day consciousness to night consciousness. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt, the philosophers of Greece, the artists of the Renaissance, they all closed their eyes each night and surrendered to the same mysterious process that you're experiencing right now. And what awaits you in the realm of dreams is a world where the impossible becomes possible, where you might find yourself flying over landscapes that exist nowhere on Earth, or having conversations with people from your past in places that blend memory with imagination. Dreams are your mind's way of asking, what if? And then creating entire realities to explore the answers. The ancient Greeks believed that dreams were messages from the gods, delivered through a gate made of horn for true dreams, or ivory for false ones. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia speak of the dream time, a realm where all stories begin and all wisdom resides. Modern science has revealed that dreams might actually be your brain's way of processing emotions, consolidating memories, and even solving problems while you sleep. But perhaps the most beautiful truth about dreams is this: they belong entirely to you. No one else can dream your dreams. They are the most private gallery of art your mind will ever create, painted with the colors of your experiences, your hopes, your fears, and your infinite imagination. And tonight, as you drift off to sleep, you'll once again become both the artist and the audience for this most personal of performances. So let your breathing slow, let your muscles soften, and prepare to embark on the most intimate journey possible, the journey into your own dreaming mind, where science meets poetry, where memory meets imagination, and where every night the most extraordinary stories unfold in the quiet privacy of your sleep. Asterisk, asterisk. Let's drift now into the gentle science of sleep, like floating on a warm current that carries us deeper into understanding. Imagine your brain as a beautiful, living city that never truly sleeps, but rather changes its rhythm as night falls. During your waking hours, this neural metropolis bustles with activity, thoughts racing like cars through busy streets, memories filing themselves away like clerks in vast libraries, sensations flowing in like rivers feeding a great harbor. But as sleep approaches, something magical happens. The city doesn't shut down. Instead, it transforms into something entirely different. The busy highways of conscious thought give way to dreamy pathways where logic becomes fluid, where time moves like honey, and where the most extraordinary stories begin to unfold. Scientists have discovered that your brain cycles through different stages of sleep, each as distinct and necessary as the movements in a symphony. Think of these stages as different rooms in a house of rest, each serving its own purpose, each offering its own gifts to your sleeping mind. The first stage is like stepping into a warm, candlelit antechamber. Your brain produces theta waves, slow, rolling rhythms that feel like gentle ocean swells. Your muscles begin to relax, your breathing deepens, and you hover in that peaceful space between waking and sleeping. This is where hypnagogic hallucinations might visit you, those strange, fleeting images and sounds that seem to float through your consciousness like leaves on a quiet stream. Then you descend into the second stage, a deeper room where your brain begins to produce something beautiful called sleep spindles brief, bursts of rhythmic brain wave activity that look like tiny tornadoes on an EEG machine. These sleep spindles are your brain's way of closing the gates between your conscious mind and the outside world, ensuring that small sounds and minor disturbances won't wake you. It's as if your mind is drawing the curtains and bolting the door, creating a sanctuary for the deeper work to come. The third and fourth stages take you into the deepest basement of consciousness, slow wave sleep, where your brain produces delta waves that roll through your neural pathways like gentle thunder. This is the most restorative stage of sleep, where your body repairs itself, your immune system strengthens, and your brain washes away the metabolic debris that accumulates during waking hours. Scientists have discovered that during this deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid flows through your brain like a gentle tide, carrying away the cellular waste that could otherwise cloud your thinking. But perhaps the most fascinating room in this house of sleep is where REM, rapid eye movement, sleep occurs. This is where dreams come alive with vivid intensity, where your brain becomes more active than during many waking moments. Yet your body remains peacefully paralyzed to prevent you from acting out your nocturnal adventures. During REM sleep, your brain creates a neurochemical environment unlike any other state of consciousness. Levels of norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine drop to almost nothing, while acetylcholine surges through your neural networks like electricity through a midnight storm. This unique chemical cocktail allows your mind to make connections that would never occur during waking hours, to blend memories in impossible ways, to create narratives that follow dream logic rather than the rules of physics or probability. Your eyes dart rapidly beneath closed lids, as if watching a movie projected on the inside of your skull. And in a sense, that's exactly what's happening. You are both the filmmaker and the audience for the most personal cinema ever created, where you are always the star of stories that only you will ever see. The beauty of this process is that it happens without any effort on your part. You don't have to learn how to dream any more than you have to learn how to grow or how to heal from a cut. Dreaming is as natural and automatic as breathing, yet infinitely more mysterious and creative. As you rest here now, feeling your own body beginning its nightly transformation, know that you are participating in one of the most universal human experiences. Every person sleeping on Earth tonight will cycle through these same stages, will dream their own unique dreams, will wake refreshed by processes that science is only beginning to understand. The gentle science of sleep reveals that your nightly rest is not passive but profoundly active, not empty but richly full, not a pause in living, but perhaps the most creative and restorative thing your mind and body do each day. And as you surrender to this ancient rhythm, you join the countless billions who have found healing, inspiration, and wonder in the soft embrace of sleep and dreams. Asterisk, asterisk. Let me tell you a story from long ago, a tale that unfolds like an old, treasured book opened by candlelight. Picture, if you will, ancient Greece in the 4th century BCE, where the great philosopher Aristotle would walk through olive groves in the golden light of evening, pondering the mysteries of the human mind. He was perhaps the first person to study dreams with the careful eye of a scientist, asking questions that still echo through the halls of sleep research today. Aristotle believed that dreams were echoes, gentle reverberations of our waking experiences, that continued to ripple through our minds even after our eyes had closed. He noticed that people often dreamed about events from their recent days, but these memories would appear transformed, woven together in ways that seemed to follow their own mysterious logic. Like a poet mixing metaphors, the dreaming mind would blend the serious with the silly, the recent with the ancient, the possible with the impossible. But long before Aristotle, dreams had captured human imagination in ways both beautiful and profound. In ancient Egypt, dreams were considered messages from the gods, so important that there were professional dream interpreters who served in the temples. The Egyptians created some of the world's first dream dictionaries, carefully cataloging what different dream symbols might mean. They believed that in sleep, the soul could travel beyond the boundaries of the physical world, visiting realms invisible to waking eyes. One of the most touching stories comes from ancient Mesopotamia, where archaeologists have found clay tablets inscribed with dreams that people recorded over 4,000 years ago. Imagine a Sumerian farmer, after a long day working under the desert sun, carefully pressing symbols into wet clay to preserve a dream that had moved him, perhaps a vision of his deceased father, or a strange journey to a city made of stars. These dream records, preserved in clay and time, remind us that the human need to understand our dreams is as old as writing itself got in medieval Europe. There lived a remarkable woman named Hildegard of Bingen, a Benedictine abbess who lived in the 12th century. Hildegard experienced vivid visionary dreams throughout her life, dreams so powerful and detailed that she believed they came directly from the divine. She described dream experiences as seeing the living light in many of her compositions. Writings and artistic works were inspired by these nocturnal visions. Her dreams, she said, came not through her ears or eyes, but directly into her soul, like sunlight streaming through a window. What's particularly beautiful about Hildegard's dream experiences is how she trusted them completely. In an era when women's voices were rarely heard in intellectual circles, she used her dreams as a source of authority and wisdom. Her dream-inspired music still moves listeners to tears today, over 800 years later, a testament to the creative power that can emerge from the sleeping mind. But perhaps one of the most charming dream researchers from history was a French scientist named Alfred Maury, who lived in the 19th century. Maury was fascinated by the relationship between our physical senses and our dreams, so he conducted experiments on himself that were both brilliant and wonderfully eccentric. He would have assistants tickle his face with feathers while he slept, or place warm objects near his skin, then wake him to ask what he had dreamed. In one famous experiment, his assistant dropped a board on his neck while he was sleeping. Maury woke immediately and reported having had a vivid dream about being in revolutionary France, being tried for treason and executed by guillotine. The board striking his neck had become the blade in his dream. This experiment helped scientists understand how our sleeping brains weave external sensations into the fabric of our dreams, creating stories that feel completely real while we're experiencing them. The most beautiful aspect of these historical dream explorers is their sense of wonder. Whether they were ancient Egyptian priests interpreting dreams in lamplit temples, or medieval mystics recording visions in illuminated manuscripts, or Victorian scientists conducting experiments in gaslit laboratories, they all shared a profound curiosity about the secret life of the sleeping mind. They understood something that modern science continues to confirm, that dreams are not just random neural firing, but meaningful experiences that connect us to our deepest selves, to our memories, to our creativity, and to the timeless human quest to understand consciousness itself. As you rest here now, preparing for your own nightly journey into dreams, you become part of this ancient tradition of dreamers. Tonight, when you close your eyes, you join the countless generations who have found wisdom, inspiration, and wonder in the mysterious theater of sleep. Your dreams connect you not just to your own unconscious mind, but to the great human story of consciousness exploring itself, one dream at a time, one peaceful night after another. Asterisk, asterisk, close your eyes now, and imagine that you are embarking on the most intimate voyage possible, a journey not through space or across oceans, but inward, into the vast landscape of your own dreaming mind. Picture yourself as a gentle explorer, floating like a feather on warm air currents, drifting deeper and deeper into the territories that only emerge when consciousness relaxes its grip on reality. As you descend into this inner realm, notice how the familiar laws of physics begin to bend and soften. Time moves differently here. A dream that feels like it lasted hours might occur in mere minutes of REM sleep, while a brief dream might seem to unfold over days in dream time. Space becomes fluid too, as rooms from your childhood home might seamlessly connect to places you've never been, and people from different eras of your life gather together in impossible but perfectly natural conversations. Your dreaming brain becomes a master architect, constructing entire worlds from the building materials of memory, emotion, and imagination. Think of your hippocampus, that seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain, as a vast library of experiences, filing away, not just facts and events, but the emotions and sensations that accompanied them. During dreams, this library opens its doors wide, allowing memories to flow and mingle freely, creating new combinations and connections that your waking mind might never discover. As you float deeper into this inner landscape, you might encounter what neuroscientists call the default mode network, a constellation of brain regions that becomes remarkably active during dreams. This network, which includes areas like the medial prefrontal cortex and the posterior cingulate cortex, is like a master storyteller, weaving together disparate elements of your life into narratives that feel meaningful, even when they defy logic. Picture your amygdala, an almond-shaped guardian of emotions, as it processes and reprocesses the feelings from your waking hours. In dreams, intense emotions can be experienced and resolved in a safe space where consequences don't follow. The rules of waking life. You might find yourself confronting fears that transform into allies, or experiencing joy so pure it seems to emanate from the very fabric of the dream itself. The visual cortex in your dreaming brain becomes an artist of extraordinary talent, painting landscapes that never existed, faces that blend features from multiple people you know, colors that seem more vivid than any you've seen in waking life. Yet all of this happens with your eyes closed, in complete darkness. Your brain, that magnificent 3-pound universe, creates light where there is none, sound in silence, and entire sensory worlds from the electrical whispers of neurons talking to each other. As you drift through this inner cosmos, notice how your sense of self becomes more fluid. In dreams, you might be yourself, but younger or older, or possessing abilities you've never had. You might observe scenes as if watching a movie, or be fully immersed as the protagonist of epic adventures. Sometimes you are the hero, sometimes the observer, sometimes even multiple characters at once. The dreaming mind cares little for the rigid boundaries that define identity in waking life. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logical thinking and self-awareness, partially dims during dreams, allowing for the beautiful illogic that makes dream narratives possible. This is why you can fly in dreams without questioning the physics, why you can have conversations with people who have passed away without finding it strange, why the impossible becomes not just possible, but perfectly reasonable within the dreams. Reality. But perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this inner journey is how your dreaming brain processes and integrates the emotional textures of your life. Psychologists have discovered that dreams often help us work through unresolved feelings, practice responses to challenging situations, and even find creative solutions to problems that puzzled us during our waking hours. Many great discoveries in science and art have emerged from dreams, from Kekule's benzene ring structure to Paul McCartney's melody for Yesterday. As you continue floating through this inner landscape, imagine your brain as a gentle gardener tending to the garden of your memories and emotions. Some experiences are pruned away, their intensity softened by the healing passage through dreams. Others are strengthened, their connections deepened and enriched. Dreams don't just reflect your inner life, they actively shape it, helping you process experiences, consolidate learning, and maintain emotional balance. The journey into your dreaming mind is also a journey through evolution itself. The basic mechanisms of REM sleep appear in mammals across the animal kingdom, suggesting that this nightly voyage into altered consciousness serves such an important function that it has been preserved across millions of years of evolution. When you dream, you participate in an ancient biological rhythm that connects you to every dreaming creature that has ever lived out in this vast inner space. Your mind becomes both the canvas and the artist, the theater and the performance, the question and the answer. Here, in the soft darkness behind your closed eyes, you discover that consciousness is far more mysterious and creative than your waking mind ever imagined. And as you rest here now, preparing to embark on your own nightly journey inward, know that you carry within you an entire universe of possibility, creativity, and wonder that awakens each night when your body finally surrenders to sleep. Asterisk, asterisk, let me whisper to you some of the gentlest secrets of sleep and dreams, little-known wonders that scientists have discovered in their careful study of the night. These are the quiet marvels that occur in bedrooms around the world, the hidden magic that unfolds while cities sleep and starlight bathes the earth in silver silence. Did you know that your brain actually cleans itself while you sleep? Like a dedicated night janitor working in an empty office building, your sleeping brain activates what scientists call the glymphatic system, a network of channels that opens wider during sleep, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to wash through your neural tissues like a gentle tide. This nightly cleansing removes metabolic waste, including proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease, keeping your mind clear and healthy for the next day's adventures. Here's another tender secret. You dream in cycles, with the most vivid and memorable dreams occurring during the REM periods that grow longer toward morning. This is why the dreams you remember most clearly often happen just before you wake up. Your brain, preparing for the return to consciousness, creates dreams that feel almost like rehearsals for waking life, complete with emotions and scenarios that seem to bridge the gap between sleep and day. In a fascinating discovery that speaks to the poetry of sleep. Scientists have found that your brain temperature drops significantly during sleep, and this cooling appears to be essential for memory consolidation. Your neurons, like flowers closing at dusk, reduce their metabolic activity, creating the perfect conditions for the delicate work of transferring information from temporary storage to long-term memory. Think of your sleeping brain as a quiet library at night, where librarians carefully move the day's new books from the receiving desk to their permanent places on the shelves. One of the most enchanting aspects of dreaming is that people born blind experience dreams just as vividly as those who can see, but their dreams are rich with sounds, textures, tastes, and emotions rather than visual images. This reveals something beautiful about the nature of consciousness, that the inner experience of dreaming transcends any single sense, creating worlds of meaning and narrative for whatever materials the mind has available. There's also the gentle mystery of dream sharing. While we can never truly share dreams, people who are emotionally close often report dreaming about each other on the same night. Scientists haven't fully explained this phenomenon, but it suggests that our connections with others run deeper than our waking minds might realize, creating invisible threads that seem to vibrate even in sleep. Your body has its own wisdom during sleep, producing growth hormone primarily during the deep, slow wave stages of rest. This is why children, who are growing rapidly, need more sleep than adults. But growth hormone in adults serves equally important functions, repairing tissues, strengthening bones, and maintaining muscle mass. Sleep becomes your body's nightly renovation project, restoring and renewing you from the cellular level up. Here's a delightful surprise. Most mammals experience REM sleep, and when they do, their brains show patterns remarkably similar to ours. Dogs and cats clearly dream. You can see it in their twitching paws and quiet sounds during sleep. Dolphins and whales have evolved a fascinating solution to the challenge of sleeping in the ocean. They sleep with one brain hemisphere at a time, allowing them to continue swimming and breathing while still getting the rest they need. Perhaps most wonderfully, your dreaming brain doesn't just replay memories. It actively creates new connections between different areas of your brain, forging neural pathways that enhance creativity and problem solving. This is why poets and inventors throughout history have credited their dreams with inspiration. Your sleeping mind becomes an artist, a scientist, and a philosopher all at once, exploring possibilities that your logical waking mind might never consider. The temperature of your bedroom affects not just how well you sleep, but what kinds of dreams you have. Slightly cool environments promote deeper sleep and more vivid dreams, while rooms that are too warm can lead to more fragmented sleep and dreams that feel chaotic or anxious. Your sleeping environment becomes part of the dreaming process itself. Even more magical is the discovery that pregnant women often have incredibly vivid dreams, especially in the third trimester. Scientists believe this may be the mind's way of preparing for the profound changes ahead, processing the emotions and expectations surrounding parenthood. The dreaming mind becomes a gentle rehearsal space for life's great transitions. As you rest here now, perhaps feeling your own body preparing for its nightly renovation, remember that you are about to participate in these quiet miracles. Your brain will clean itself, your memories will organize themselves, your creativity will flourish, and your body will repair and restore itself, all while you float peacefully in the restorative embrace of sleep and dreams. What a gift it is to be a dreaming being in a universe full of such gentle wonders. Settle deeper into this moment of quiet contemplation as we ponder one of the most profound questions the human mind can ask. What do our dreams tell us about the nature of consciousness itself? Like gentle philosophers sitting by a moonlit window, let us explore the deeper meanings hidden within the nightly theater of sleep. When you dream, you experience what might be the most intimate proof of your consciousness. In dreams, you create entire worlds from nothing but the electrical whispers of neurons. Yet these worlds feel completely real while you inhabit them. You see without eyes, hear without ears, feel emotions as deep as any you experience while awake. This suggests something beautiful about the nature of awareness itself, that consciousness is not merely a passive receiver of external reality, but an active creator of experience. Think about this gentle mystery. In your dreams, you are simultaneously the author, the director, the actor, and the audience of every story that unfolds. You write dialogue for characters without knowing what they will say until they say it. You create plot twists that surprise your dreaming self, even though some part of your mind must be creating these surprises. This paradox reveals something profound about the multiplicity of consciousness, that the unified sense of self we experience is actually more like a symphony of different mental processes harmonizing together. Dreams also offer us a window into the relationship between mind and reality. When you dream of flying, your body remains perfectly still, yet the experience of soaring through dream skies can feel more vivid and meaningful than many waking experiences. This suggests that what we call reality is actually a construction of consciousness. Our waking world is as much an interpretation created by our brains as our dream worlds are, just built from different materials. The ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi captured this beautifully when he wrote about dreaming he was a butterfly, then waking and wondering whether he was now a man who had dreamed of being a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming of being a man. This gentle poem points to something profound. The boundaries between dreaming and waking consciousness may be more fluid than we imagine. Both states involve the brain, creating a sense of reality, a sense of self, and a sense of meaning from the raw materials of neural activity. In dreams, we often encounter aspects of ourselves that remain hidden during waking hours. The shy person becomes bold, the anxious person finds peace, The logical person embraces the absurd. Carl Jung called these dream figures expressions of our shadow, not evil parts of ourselves, but simply the aspects of our personality that don't have room to express themselves in daily life. Dreams become a safe space where every part of the psyche can have its moment on stage. Consider how dreams reveal the deeply creative nature of consciousness. Every night, without any effort or training, you become a filmmaker creating movies that no one else will ever see. You compose music that exists nowhere except in the electrical symphony of your sleeping brain. You write stories more imaginative than any novel, populated with characters more complex than any playwright could devise. This suggests that creativity is not a special talent possessed by a few, but a fundamental property of consciousness itself. Dreams also demonstrate the essentially social nature of human consciousness. Even in the privacy of sleep, your mind populates your dreams with other people, family members, friends, strangers, even fictional characters. You rarely dream of being completely alone. This reveals something touching about human nature. We are so fundamentally social that even our unconscious minds cannot imagine existence without others. In dreams, we continue the conversations, relationships, and connections that give life meaning. The healing power of dreams suggests that consciousness has an inherent drive toward wholeness and integration. Through dreams, traumatic experiences can be processed and integrated. Problems can be solved through novel combinations of ideas, and emotional tensions can be resolved through symbolic expression. Your dreaming mind becomes a therapist, working with the material of your life to promote psychological healing and growth. Perhaps most beautifully, dreams reveal that consciousness naturally seeks meaning and narrative. Even when presented with the most random neural activity, the mind weaves these signals into stories, complete with characters, conflicts, and resolutions. This suggests that meaning-making is not something we do, but something we are. Consciousness itself might be fundamentally narrative in nature, always telling itself the story of its own existence. As you rest here now, feeling your own consciousness beginning to shift toward sleep, reflect on this gentle truth. You are about to become both the artist and the artwork, the dreamer and the dream. In a few hours, you will wake with the memory of having been present in worlds that exist nowhere, but in the infinite creativity of your own mind. What a profound gift it is to be a conscious being capable of dreaming, to carry within yourself the power to create entire universes of experience from nothing more than the quiet electricity of sleeping neurons. Let us drift now into even deeper contemplation, like leaves floating down a gentle stream of consciousness, as we explore what the phenomenon of dreaming reveals about the poetry inherent in existence itself. There is something almost magical about the fact that every night, billions of people across the earth close their eyes and spontaneously begin creating art, wordless poems, soundless music, impossible architectures of the mind. Dreams suggest that reality itself might be more flexible, more creative, more open to interpretation than our waking minds typically assume. When you dream of speaking with a deceased loved one, when you dream of places that blend the familiar with the impossible, when you dream of being someone you've never been, but somehow always were, you glimpse the malleable nature of experience itself. Perhaps what we call the real world is simply the shared dream we all agree to participate in while awake. There's something deeply democratic about dreaming. Rich and poor, young and old, educated and simple, all human beings dream with equal creativity and complexity. A child's dreams can be as profound as a philosopher's, a farmer's nocturnal visions as intricate as those of a poet. Dreams remind us that the capacity for imagination, for meaning-making, for creating beauty is not limited to a talented few, but is the birthright of every conscious being. Consider the temporal poetry of dreams, how they exist in a realm where past, present, and future mingle freely. In dreams, you might have conversations with your younger self, receive advice from future versions of who you might become, or find yourself in familiar places that exist exactly as they are now, exactly as they were years ago, and somehow as they've never been but could be. This temporal fluidity suggests that consciousness itself might not be bound by linear time in the way our waking lives appear to be. Dreams also reveal the profound interconnectedness of all human experience. Though each person's dreams are unique and private, certain themes appear across all cultures and throughout history. Flying dreams, dreams of being chased, dreams of losing teeth, dreams of endless rooms or impossible buildings. These universal dream motifs suggest that beneath the surface differences of language, culture, and circumstance, human consciousness shares deep patterns and archetypal experiences that connect us all. The fact that dreams often feel more emotionally intense than waking experience points to something beautiful about the nature of feeling itself. In dreams, love can feel more pure, fear more primal, joy more complete. This emotional amplification suggests that consciousness, when freed from the practical constraints of waking life, naturally moves toward experiencing the full spectrum of human feeling. Dreams become laboratories of emotion, where the heart can explore the full range of what it means to feel deeply. There's also profound wisdom in how dreams handle paradox and contradiction. In waking life, we often struggle with things that don't make logical sense, but in dreams, you can be in two places at once without confusion. You can be yourself and someone else simultaneously without conflict. This comfort with paradox might teach us something important about approaching the mysteries of existence with acceptance rather than the need to resolve everything into neat, logical categories. Dreams demonstrate that consciousness naturally creates narrative meaning even from the most chaotic input. Your dreaming mind takes random neural firings and weaves them into stories that feel meaningful, purposeful, and emotionally resonant. This reveals something profound about consciousness itself, that it is fundamentally creative, always seeking to find or create meaning from whatever raw materials are available. The privacy of dreams also reveals something beautiful about the individual nature of consciousness. In a world where so much of our experience is shared, observed, and evaluated by others, dreams remain completely personal. They are the one realm of experience that belongs entirely to you, where you can be completely authentic without any external judgment or influence. This privacy might be essential for psychological health. We all need a space where consciousness can explore freely without social constraints. Perhaps most movingly, dreams show us that consciousness stops caring when we sleep. Your dreams are populated with the people you love, the places that matter to you, the concerns that occupy your waking mind. Even in sleep, awareness continues to engage with what is meaningful, continues to work through relationships, continues to seek understanding and connection. Love, it seems, never sleeps. It simply finds new ways to express itself in the gentle theater of dreams. As you prepare now to enter your own nightly realm of dreams, consider this: you are about to participate in one of the most profound aspects of being human. You will create art without trying, tell stories without planning, explore emotions without fear, and connect with parts of yourself that remain hidden during the day. In dreams, you become the full expression of human consciousness, creative, emotional, narrative, meaning-making, eternally seeking connection and understanding in the beautiful mystery of existence. Asterisk, as we float deeper into contemplation, like dandelion seeds drifting on evening air, let us explore how dreams might serve as the soul's own language, a wordless poetry that speaks in symbols, emotions, and impossible narratives that somehow feel more true than many waking experiences. Asterisk. In dreams, your mind becomes a master translator, converting the complex chemistry of emotions into visual stories, transforming abstract fears into concrete images, turning intangible hopes into landscapes you can walk through. When you dream of houses with endless rooms, perhaps your unconscious is speaking about the unexplored potential within yourself. When you dream of flying, maybe your spirit is expressing its longing for freedom. When you dream of losing something precious, your heart might be processing the universal human experience of impermanence. There's something deeply compassionate about how dreams work with difficult emotions. Rather than forcing you to confront painful experiences directly, dreams often wrap them in metaphor and symbol, allowing you to process trauma, grief, or anxiety in a gentler, more manageable way. A dream about being lost might help you work through feelings of confusion in waking life. A dream about someone who has passed away might allow you to continue the relationship in a different form, finding closure or comfort that the waking mind struggles to provide. Dreams also reveal the profound patience of consciousness. Night after night, your dreaming mind returns to unresolved issues, approaching them from different angles, offering new perspectives, suggesting creative solutions. Like a wise counselor who never grows tired of listening, your dreaming self continues to work with whatever challenges or mysteries occupy your heart, offering insight through the gentle language of symbols and stories. Consider how dreams demonstrate the inherent wholeness of human experience. In waking life, we often fragment ourselves. We are one person at work, another with family, another when alone. But in dreams, all these aspects of self can coexist without contradiction. You might dream of being simultaneously your current age and your childhood self, combining the wisdom of experience with the wonder of youth. Dreams suggest that consciousness is naturally integrated, always seeking to bring together the scattered pieces of experience into a coherent, if mysterious, whole. The fact that dreams often feel more meaningful than they appear on the surface points to something beautiful about the nature of truth itself. A dream that seems nonsensical to your rational mind might carry emotional truth that your heart recognizes immediately. Perhaps there are forms of understanding that transcend logic, ways of knowing that speak directly to the deeper levels of consciousness, where poetry and truth converge. Dreams also reveal the essentially generous nature of consciousness. Even in sleep, your mind continues to create, to explore, to seek beauty and meaning. You never dream of being bored. Even anxiety dreams are rich with imagery and narrative complexity. This suggests that consciousness has an inherent drive toward engagement, creativity, and the exploration of possibility. Boredom, it seems, is not a natural state, but something that occurs only when consciousness is constrained by external limitations. There's something profoundly hopeful about the way dreams handle limitation and impossibility. In the dream realm, you can overcome any obstacle, heal any wound, reunite with anyone you've lost, become anyone you wish to be. While these dream experiences don't change external reality, they might serve a deeper function, maintaining hope, practicing possibility, reminding the soul of its infinite creative potential, even when waking life feels constrained. Dreams also suggest that consciousness is fundamentally relational. Even when you appear to be alone in a dream, the landscape itself seems alive with presence and meaning. Dream environments often feel charged with emotion or intention, as if the very walls and sky are participating in the narrative. This reveals something beautiful about how consciousness experiences reality, not as a passive observer in a dead universe, but as an active participant in a world that is alive with meaning and connection. The healing power of dreams points to something profound about the nature of time and experience. In dreams, you can revisit the past not as it was, but as it might have been, or as you need it to be, for healing to occur. You can have conversations with younger versions of yourself, offering the comfort or guidance you needed then. You can experience alternate versions of painful events, exploring different outcomes, different choices, different possibilities. This temporal flexibility suggests that consciousness has the power to transform even past experiences through the alchemy of imagination and dream. Perhaps most beautifully, dreams reveal that consciousness naturally moves toward love and connection. Even nightmares, frightening as they may be, often contain seeds of resolution or growth. The monsters in dreams often transform into helpers when faced with courage. The obstacles become gateways. The endings, even sad ones, often carry a sense of completion or understanding. This suggests that consciousness, at its deepest level, is oriented toward healing, integration, and the expansion of love. As you rest here now, feeling your own consciousness preparing to speak its nightly language of dreams, trust in this ancient wisdom. Your sleeping mind will create exactly the dreams you need, sometimes for processing, sometimes for healing, sometimes simply for the joy of creative expression. In a few hours, you will wake with gifts from the realm of sleep, new insights, processed emotions, creative inspiration, or simply the deep refreshment that comes from having spent time in the soul's native language of symbol and story. Let us drift now into contemplating sleep and dreams as part of a larger ecology, a beautiful web of relationships that connects your nightly rest to the rhythms of the natural world, the cycles of all living things, and the vast cosmic dance of which we are all part. When you sleep, you participate in one of the most universal activities on Earth. As darkness falls across different time zones, billions of humans surrender to sleep in waves that circle the globe. At any given moment, roughly 1/3 of humanity is dreaming. Imagine this, a continuous river of dreams flowing around the planet, an endless stream of human consciousness exploring inner landscapes while the outer world rests in darkness. You are never alone when you sleep. You are part of this vast communion of dreamers. But the ecology of sleep extends far beyond humanity. As you prepare for rest, countless other species are settling into their own versions of slumber. Birds tuck their heads under wings. Dolphins and whales continue their ancient practice of sleeping with half their brains at a time. Elephants lie down in the safety of their herds for the brief, deep sleep they need. Even trees have been found to droop their branches slightly at night, as if they too participate in the planet's nightly rhythm of rest and restoration. Your sleep is intimately connected to this rotation of the earth itself. The circadian rhythms that guide your journey from wakefulness to sleep evolved over millions of years in response to the planet's 24-hour cycle. Your body's internal clock is synchronized not just with the sun and moon, but with the subtle electromagnetic fields generated by the earth itself. When you sleep, you align yourself with the cosmic rhythm that has been guiding life on this planet since consciousness first emerged from the primordial seas. The seasons also influence your sleep in ways both obvious and subtle. In winter, when nights are longer, your body naturally wants more sleep, producing melatonin for extended periods. In summer, the longer days naturally shift your rhythms towards staying awake later. Your sleep patterns echo the ancient agricultural cycles that shaped human civilization, the longer dormant periods of winter, the active growing seasons of summer. Even in our modern, artificially lit world, your body remembers these primal connections to the natural cycles of light and darkness. Consider how your bedroom becomes a sacred space each night, a temporary temple where the daily self dissolves and the dreaming self emerges. The simple act of lying down, closing your eyes, and surrendering to sleep connects you to every human who has ever sought rest and restoration in the embrace of darkness. Your pillow holds your head with the same gentle support that stone pillows provided for ancient dreamers, that woven mats offered to indigenous peoples sleeping under star-filled skies. The air you breathe As you sleep connects you to the respiratory rhythm of the entire planet. The oxygen in your lungs was recently produced by trees and ocean phytoplankton. The carbon dioxide you exhale will be absorbed by plants and incorporated into their growth. Even in sleep, you participate in the planetary exchange of gases that maintains the delicate balance necessary for life to flourish. Asterisk. Asterisk, your dreams themselves might be part of a larger ecological process. Some researchers theorize that dreams serve not just individual psychological functions, but species-wide adaptive purposes. Perhaps dreams are how consciousness evolves, how new possibilities are explored and tested in the safe laboratory of sleep before being expressed in waking life. Your nightly dreams might contribute to the collective creativity and problem-solving capacity of humanity as a whole. The water in your body, roughly 60% of your total weight, connects you to the water cycle of the entire planet. As you sleep, this water continues its ancient circulation, carrying nutrients to your cells, removing wastes, maintaining the fluid balance that makes life possible. The water in your tears, your saliva, your blood was once rain falling on mountains, once waves breaking on distant shores, once morning dew on grass blades. Through water, your sleeping body maintains its connection to the vast hydrosphere that covers our blue planet. Even your body temperature, which drops during sleep, connects you to the thermal rhythms of your environment. Your cooling body mirrors the cooling of the Earth's surface after sunset, the natural temperature drop that has signaled time for rest since life first emerged on land. Your metabolism slows, like the slowing of photosynthesis in plants when sunlight fades, participating in the planet-wide rhythm of activity and rest. The electromagnetic activity of your sleeping brain adds its small contribution to the subtle electrical field that surrounds all living things. Some scientists theorize that the synchronized brain waves of sleeping humans might create measurable effects in the Earth's electromagnetic field, connecting all dreamers in ways we're only beginning to understand. Your dreams might literally ripple through the planetary field of consciousness, adding your unique frequency to the great symphony of sleeping minds. Perhaps most beautifully, your need for sleep connects you to the fundamental rhythm of existence itself, the universal pulse of activity and rest, expansion and contraction, creation and renewal that appears at every level of reality, from the quantum scale to the cosmic scale. Stars are born and die in cycles that span millions of years. Galaxies spiral in vast, slow rotations. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your sleep-wake cycle all echo these greater rhythms, making you a conscious participant in the cosmic dance of existence. As you settle into sleep tonight, remember that you are not simply resting, you are joining in the most ancient and universal activity on Earth, connecting yourself to the planetary web of life, contributing your own small but essential rhythm to the great symphony of sleeping and dreaming that has been playing since consciousness first learned to close its eyes and explore the infinite creativity of its own depths. Asterisk. Asterisk, as we near the end of our gentle journey together, let us contemplate one of the most tender mysteries of sleep and dreams, the beautiful dance between remembering and forgetting that occurs each night as consciousness cycles through its ancient rhythms. There is profound wisdom in how you're sleeping. Mind chooses what to remember and what to let go. Like a gentle librarian working through the night, your brain sorts through the day's experiences, deciding which memories deserve permanent places on the shelves of long-term storage and which can be allowed to fade like morning mist. This process of selective forgetting is not a failure of memory, but one of its greatest gifts, the ability to release what no longer serves you while preserving what nourishes your soul. Dreams play a crucial role in this delicate curation. Sometimes they serve as a final viewing of memories before they're either archived or released. You might dream of a conversation from years ago, your mind giving you one last chance to extract any remaining wisdom before that memory fades into the background of your past. Other dreams seem to be your psyche's way of filing away the emotional residue of experiences, processing feelings until they can be stored without their sharp edges intact. Consider the mercy in forgetting. If you remembered every moment of pain with perfect clarity, if every disappointment remained as fresh as when it first occurred, if every awkward moment from childhood retained its full emotional charge, consciousness would become unbearably heavy. Sleep grants you the grace of emotional distance, softening the harsh edges of difficult memories while allowing their lessons to remain. You wake each morning slightly different from who you were the night before, shaped by your experiences, but not imprisoned by them. Yet there's equal wisdom in what sleep chooses to preserve. The dreams you remember upon waking often carry messages that your conscious mind needs to hear. Sometimes these are practical insights, solutions to problems you've been wrestling with, creative ideas that emerge from the free associative realm of sleep. Other times they're emotional reminders, dreams about loved ones that reconnect you with what matters most, or symbolic narratives that help you understand your own feelings more clearly. The forgetting that occurs in dreams themselves reveals another layer of this mystery. Most dreams vanish upon waking, leaving only fragments or fleeting impressions. But this forgetting might serve a purpose too. Perhaps dreams are meant to do their work in the darkness, like seeds that must decompose underground before they can sprout. The dream experiences shape you even when you can't consciously remember them, influencing your emotional state, your creativity, your problem-solving abilities in ways that operate below the threshold of awareness. There's something profoundly hopeful about how sleep handles traumatic memories. While painful experiences cannot be erased, sleep and dreaming often work to integrate them, to find meaning in suffering, to transform wounds into wisdom. Dreams might replay traumatic events not to torment you, but to help you master them, to give you the experience of surviving them over and over until they lose their power to overwhelm your waking consciousness. The relationship between sleep and memory also reveals the fluid nature of identity itself. Each night, as some memories fade and others are strengthened, you literally become a slightly different version of yourself. The self that wakes tomorrow morning will be composed of a slightly different constellation of memories, emotions, and neural connections than the self that goes to sleep tonight. This gradual transformation through sleep might be how consciousness evolves, how personalities develop, how wisdom accumulates over the course of a lifetime. Dreams also serve as bridges between different periods of your life, allowing past and present to meet in ways that can be healing or illuminating. In dreams, your child self might offer comfort to your adult self, or your current wisdom might provide guidance to younger versions of yourself. These temporal conversations within dreams suggest that all the selves you've ever been continue to exist within your consciousness, available for dialogue and integration through the magic of nocturnal narrative. The selective nature of dream recall might also protect the mystery that makes dreams so powerful. If you remembered every detail of every dream with perfect clarity, they might lose their dreamlike quality, their ability to surprise and inspire. The haziness of dream memory preserves their poetic nature, allowing them to remain suggestive rather than literal, symbolic rather than explicit. Like half-remembered poems, dream fragments retain their power precisely because they're not fully captured by waking consciousness. Perhaps most beautifully, a forgetting and remembering that occurs in sleep reflects a fundamental truth about existence itself, that life is a constant process of letting go and taking in, of releasing the past and embracing the present, of forgetting what hurts and remembering what heals. Sleep teaches you this rhythm night after night, showing you that it's possible to honor your experiences without being defined by them, to learn from your past without being trapped by it, not as you prepare now to surrender to this ancient dance of remembering and forgetting. Trust in the wisdom of your sleeping mind. It knows what to hold on to and what to release. It knows how to transform experience into wisdom, how to heal wounds through the gentle alchemy of dreams, how to prepare you for tomorrow by helping you integrate yesterday. Rest in the knowledge that your consciousness is constantly renewing itself, constantly choosing what serves your highest good, constantly writing and rewriting the story of who you are becoming. Asterisk, asterisk, and so we come to the end of our gentle journey. Together, like a river reaching the peaceful ocean at the close of day. We have traveled through the landscapes of sleep and dreams, explored the science and poetry of consciousness, contemplated the profound mystery of what happens when you close your eyes and surrender to the night. Now it is time to let all these thoughts settle like snowflakes on quiet water, beautiful and meaningful, but no longer needing your active attention. As you lie here now, perhaps feeling the soft weight of drowsiness beginning to embrace you. Remember that you carry within yourself one of the greatest wonders in the universe, a consciousness capable of creating entire worlds from nothing but the gentle electricity of neural activity. Tonight, when sleep finally claims you, you will become both the artist and the artwork, the dreamer and the dream, participating in the most intimate form of creativity known to existence. Asterisk, asterisk, your body, wise beyond words, is already beginning its nightly transformation. Your breathing has grown deeper and more regular, following rhythms as old as life itself. Your heart beats with the steady patience of all hearts that have ever carried dreamers into sleep. Your muscles are softening, releasing the tensions of the day like flowers closing their petals at dusk. Every cell in your body knows how to prepare for the restorative journey ahead. Asterisk. Let yourself sink now into the comfort of your resting place, feeling supported not just by your bed, but by the ancient rhythms of the turning earth, by the invisible connections that link you to every sleeping creature on the planet, by the timeless dance of consciousness, exploring its own infinite creativity through dreams. You are held by forces larger and more loving than you can imagine. The dreams that await you tonight are yours alone, unique gifts that no one else will ever receive, personal messages written in the language your soul speaks most fluently. Whether you remember them or not, they will do their quiet work of integration, healing, and renewal. Trust in this process that has guided consciousness for millions of years. Trust in your mind's ability to sort and heal and inspire while you rest peacefully in sleep's gentle embrace. If thoughts try to follow you into sleep, let them pass like clouds across a midnight sky, acknowledged but not grasped, seen but not held. Your conscious mind has done its work for today. Now is the time for deeper wisdom to take over, for the ancient intelligence of sleep to guide you through the landscapes of renewal and restoration. Feel gratitude, if you can, for this daily gift of sleep, this opportunity to release control, to let go of the day's concerns, to trust in processes larger than your individual will. How remarkable it is that you can simply close your eyes and surrender, knowing that your body will repair itself, your mind will organize and heal itself, your spirit will refresh itself through the mysterious alchemy of dreams, as sleep draws closer now. Imagine yourself surrounded by the love and good wishes of all who have listened to this story with you, all who have shared this gentle exploration of dreams and consciousness. Though we are separated by space and time, we are united in this most fundamental human experience, the nightly journey into sleep and dreams that connects every person who has ever lived. Let the last thoughts that accompany you into sleep be peaceful ones, perhaps gratitude for the day that has passed, or gentle anticipation of the day to come, perhaps appreciation for your own remarkable consciousness, capable of such creativity, such healing, such profound rest. Perhaps simply the soft contentment that comes from having spent time contemplating the beautiful mysteries of existence. And now, as your eyelids grow too heavy to hold open, As your breathing deepens into the rhythm of approaching sleep, let me offer you these final gentle words. May your sleep be deep and restorative. May your dreams be gentle teachers and kind companions. May you wake tomorrow refreshed in body, peaceful in mind, and renewed in spirit. May you always remember that you carry within yourself infinite creativity, boundless capacity for healing, and a consciousness as vast and mysterious as the starry sky. Wherever you are in this wide world, whatever time zone you're resting in, whatever language you speak or dreams you dream, know that you are part of something magnificent, the great community of conscious beings who find renewal in sleep and inspiration in dreams. You are never alone when you dream, never separate from the vast web of consciousness that connects all living things. Rest well, gentle dreamer. Let sleep embrace you like the most comfortable blanket, like the most loving arms, like the most peaceful sanctuary you have ever known. Your dreams are waiting for you, patient and kind, ready to offer you exactly what you need for your journey of growth and healing. And so, as this story ends and your personal journey into sleep begins, may you drift peacefully into the gentle darkness, surrounded by love, supported by ancient wisdom, and blessed with the miraculous gift of dreams. Wherever you are, I hope you're resting well tonight. May your dreams be peaceful and your mind at ease. Good night. Asterisk.